Today is Donald Trump's first full day really having at it as President of the United States. And he's getting right to work. He's signing executive orders. As CNN reports, they say, quote, Donald Trump today, here's the executive orders he's signing today. And by the way, he's undoing a lot of Barack Obama's policies already. But CNN reports, quote, Donald Trump is today signing an executive order to withdraw the United States from the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is something that Trump has vowed to do, and he's doing it. Says, quote, that executive order will send signals to Democrats and leaders in foreign capitals around the world that Trump's rhetoric on trade during the campaign is turning into action. In other words, what Trump said he's going to do, he's now doing. But listen to this. CNN goes on. Trump vowed during the campaign to withdraw the U.S. from the Pacific Trade Deal, commonly known as TPP, which he argues is harmful to American workers and manufacturers. Other executive orders planned for Monday include reinstating the Mexico City abortion rules, as well as instituting 5-year lobbying bans for anyone who works in the administration. So, Donald Trump's people are telling CNN, yep, that's one of the things he has on his agenda. Of the very first things that he's going to sign is an executive order reinstating Ronald Reagan's Mexico City policy. This is really good news, folks, that this is, once again, pro-life action that Donald Trump is taking. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, let me remind you, the Mexico City policy, there was a UN conference, UN-sponsored conference in Mexico City back in the 1980s when Ronald Reagan was president. While Ronald Reagan was there, Ronald Reagan signed an executive order saying that from now on, U.S. taxpayers are not going to have to pay for abortions in other countries around the world. Because most people don't know this, but U.S. tax dollars, the government was actually paying for and funding abortion services, abortion education, abortion promotion in other countries around the world. It's bad enough we got to pay for it here in this country, but paying for it in other countries around the world. So Ronald Reagan signed an executive order saying basically, well, no more. And so by executive order, U.S. taxpayers no longer had to pay for abortion and abortion-related services around the world. Well, when Ronald Reagan left office, George H.W. Bush took over for one term, and he left that Mexico City policy in place. Then you recall Bill Clinton got elected. When Bill Clinton got in office, Bill Clinton signed an executive order undoing Ronald Reagan's executive order. So therefore, for the 2 terms of Bill Clinton, U.S. taxpayers were once again having to pay for abortion and abortion education and services in other countries around the world. George Bush comes into office. When George Bush came into office, he signed an executive order reinstating the Mexico City policy of Ronald Reagan. So for George Bush's 8 years in office, we no longer had to pay for abortions in other countries around the world. Enter Barack Obama. Barack Obama, just in his first week as president, signed an executive order once again undoing the Mexico City policy and ordering U.S. taxpayers to have to pay for abortions in other countries around the world. So Donald Trump today is his first full day operating as president, because yesterday, Sunday, was kind of an off day for most people, although he did some stuff, but for the most part, today was the first full day. And on his first day agenda, according to CNN, is I'm reinstating Ronald Reagan's Mexico City policy. Good for Donald Trump. I'm very glad to see that. Some other stuff that's starting to come out now. When you looked at the oath of office being taken on Friday, you know, Donald Trump had his hand actually on 2 Bibles. One of them was Abraham Lincoln's Bible, and the other one was his own personal Bible that his mother gave him as a child. Okay, nice touch. Mike Pence, as vice president, when he took his oath of office, he took his oath of office on Ronald Reagan's personal Bible. But here's what's interesting. Not that many people notice this. Usually when you take the oath of office, the Bible is closed, and you have your hand on top of the closed Bible. Yet look at the picture, look at the image of Mike Pence taking the oath of office. He's got his right hand raised and he's got his left hand on the Bible, but the Bible isn't closed. The Bible is opened, and he has his hand on the pages, the open pages of the Bible. Well, it turns out Mike Pence wanted to take the oath of office with the Bible opened up to 2 Chronicles 7:14, which of course says, if my people who are called by name, my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and heal their land. So I think that's kind of cool. Mike Pence wanted the Bible open to that passage and wanted his hand on top of that passage while he took the oath of office. Pretty cool. During the prayer service after the inauguration, the song How Great Thou Art was being sung, and they're all sitting there, and of course the camera is on Donald Trump and his wife Melania and Mike Pence and his wife as they're sitting in the front row. But you know, while the song How Great Thou Art was being sung, I thought this was kind of interesting. You saw Melania Trump wiping away a couple of tears. It moved her to tears listening to that song. Now, to my knowledge, I don't know if Melania Trump professes to be a Christian. I don't think she professes to be a Christian, but I don't know. Remember, Donald Trump apparently just became a Christian within the last year or so. So we'll see. Although I know he's identified himself as a Christian and a Presbyterian for pretty much most of his life, it appears that he, at least according to insiders, he actually seriously made a commitment to Jesus Christ and became born again while he was running for president. Now, again, we don't know. Only God knows his heart. Is that true or not? We don't know. People on the inside, people like James Dobson and Paula White and Ben Carson and many of those, they say, yes, this is real. He really did legitimately do that. So we'll see. But Melania Trump wiping away a tear during How Great Thou Art. And it's interesting, you see Mike Pence next to her. He did the same thing. Mike Pence was crying, wiped away a tear while How Great Thou Art was playing. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, that brings us to the march, to the rallies that took